I want to tell you about something that I love.
What do I love? I love New York City. You can do whatever you want.
I love playing in the water with my daughter.
I love octopuses.
I love working out outside.
I love to travel.
Seeing the incredible beauty of our planet.
I love the fall and changes of the colors in the leaves.
I love hanging out with my brothers and playing around with Ace King and Odin in the snow. And none of this will be possible if we continue the way we live our lives.
For 2.5 million years, the Earth's climate has fluctuated, cycling from ice ages to warmer periods. But in the last century, the planet's temperature has risen unusually fast, about 1.2 to 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Scientists believe it's human activity that's driving the temperatures up, a process known as global warming.
We have so much to lose from climate change.
I wanted to do everything I could to help. I made up my mind right then and there to change how I lived and to do whatever I possibly could to find a way for all of us to live together, in balance with the planet sustainably forever. I started to do all the things Al told us to do. I became an OCE, Obsessive Compulsive Environmentalist. I separated the trash and recycling, I composted, changed all the light bulbs, took short showers, turned the water off when I brushed my teeth, turned off lights when leaving a room, and rode my bike instead of driving everywhere.
Consumers can help by saving energy around the house, switching to compact fluorescent light bulbs, and driving fewer miles in the car each week. These simple changes may help keep the Earth cooler in the future.
We need to be making more conscious efforts, like turning off the water when we wash our hands or taking shorter showers, like this woman.
To conserve water, I'm only taking showers for 5 minutes tops.
It sometimes feels there's nothing we can do about the environment.
We recycle, we turn off the lights. It doesn't seem like enough.
But as the years went by, it seemed as if things were getting worse. I had to wonder, with all the continuing ecological crisis facing the planet, even if every single one of us adopted these conservation habits, was this really going to be enough to save the world? It just seemed that there was something more to the story. Hydraulic fracturing for natural gas uses an incredible amount of water. A staggering 100 billion gallons of water is used every year in the United States. But when I compared this with animal agriculture, raising livestock just in the US consumes 34 trillion gallons of water. And it turns out the methane emissions from both industries are nearly equal. I found out that 1/4 pound hamburger requires over 660 gallons of water to produce. Here I've been taking these short showers trying to save water, and to find out just eating one hamburger is the equivalent of showering 2 entire months.
California is experiencing its most serious drought in decades. In about a year, the state's reservoirs could run dry. This is a serious crisis.
There's no ifs, and, or buts about it.
That would be really powerful, just rather than waiting till we're in a drought. What do you think about just starting now and whoever's in charge of the Save Our Water, hey, let's start encouraging people to eat less meat now because these studies are coming out.
I don't think that'll happen.
Why?
I don't think that'll happen.
Why?
Because of the way government is set up.
We are amazing creatures, human beings. Amazing. Born with the ability to stare truth square in its face and not see a dang thing.
There's no way to support 9 ounces per person per day, which is what Americans are eating now.
The world's climate scientists tell us that the highest safe level of emissions would be around 350 parts per million of carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. We're already at 400. They tell us that the sort of safest we could hope to do without having perilous implications as far as drought, famine, human conflict, major species extinction would be about a 2 degrees Celsius increase in temperature. We're rapidly approaching that, and with all the built-in carbon dioxide that's already in the atmosphere, we're easily going to exceed that. So on our watch, we are facing the next major extinction of species on the Earth that we haven't seen since the time of the dinosaurs disappearing. When whole countries go underwater because of sea level rise, when whole countries find that there's so much drought that they can't feed their population, and as a result they need to desperately migrate to another country or invade another country. I mean, we're going to have climate wars in the future.
Global warming. You know global warming?
Yes, I heard about global warming.
Greenhouse gases trap heat near the Earth through a naturally occurring process called the greenhouse effect. The greenhouse effect begins with the sun and the energy it radiates to the Earth. The Earth and the atmosphere absorb some of this energy, while the rest is radiated back into space. Naturally occurring gases in the atmosphere trap some of this energy and reflect it back, warming the Earth. Rising sea levels which could flood coastal areas around the world. Weather patterns could change, making hurricanes more frequent. Severe droughts could become more common in warm areas, and species unable to adapt to the changing conditions would face extinction.
Climate change is a global warming trend.
Climate change.
Global warming.
Climatic changes.
Climate change.
Climate change is real.
Search and rescue crews sift through the rubble trying to locate missing loved ones, and the death toll.
It is a huge monumental flood. We're living historic times at this point.
Japanese Prime Minister Naoto Kan said today the disaster is the worst crisis for Japan since World War II.
The National Weather Service in Birmingham, Alabama has issued a tornado warning for Tuscaloosa County. A tornado warning means that a tornado has been spotted heading for your area. Seek shelter in an interior.
This has been the country's worst and deadliest tornado outbreak since the Great Depression.
Skyscrapers nearby were swaying like trees in the wind.
A massive dust storm rolled through Phoenix. It was more than 1.5 miles high. Take a look at this.
It came roaring into town at 60 miles per hour.
One man dead, more than a dozen injured in multiple pileups involving 24 cars, trucks, and semis across Arizona Tuesday.
In Al Gore's film, he describes how our Earth is in peril. Climate change stands to affect all life on this planet. From monster storms, raging wildfires, record droughts, ice caps melting, acidification of the oceans, to entire countries going underwater. That could all be caused by humans' demands on the Earth. With scientists warning unless we take drastic measures to correct our environmental footprint, our time on this planet may be limited to only 50 more years.
Climate change is happening now.
And we'll begin to see even more impact on our lives.
Extreme weather events like Sandy are becoming more and more likely to happen. It was sad to see something that I love so much be beaten down like that.
In São Paulo, Brazil, we're already having the effects of droughts.
Everything is connected. Climate change will affect every living thing.
And what about livestock and animal agriculture?
Well, what about it?
Published by the United Nations stating that cows produce more greenhouse gases than the entire transportation sector. This means that raising cattle produces more greenhouse gases than all cars, trucks, trains, boats, planes combined. 13% compared to 18% for livestock. This is because cows produce a substantial amount of methane from their digestive process. Methane gas from livestock is 25 to 100 times more destructive than carbon dioxide from vehicles. The UN, along with other agencies, reported that not only did livestock play a major role in global warming, it is also the leading cause of resource consumption and environmental degradation destroying the planet today. In 2009, 2 advisors from the World Bank released an analysis on human-induced greenhouse gases, finding that animal agriculture was responsible not for 18%, as the UN stated, but was actually 51% of all greenhouse gases. 51%. Yet all we hear about is burning fossil fuels. This devastating figure is due to clear-cutting rainforests for grazing, respiration, and all the waste animals produce. This makes animal agriculture the #1 contributor to human-caused climate change. But not only that, I found out raising animals for food consumes 1/3 of all the planet's fresh water, occupies up to 45% of the Earth's land, is responsible for up to 91% of Amazon destruction, is a leading cause of species extinction, ocean dead zones, and habitat destruction.
The Amazon rainforest itself could be gone in the matter of the next 10 years. It's causing the most trees to fall, for example. I think it would definitely be agriculture.
The Amazon rainforest has the potential to turn into a desert if the temperatures keep rising. And actually, combined with deforestation, the numbers predict that it may be gone by 2050. Italy and Switzerland have actually had to redraw their borders after alpine glaciers between their countries melted that used to mark the border. And at this rate, those glaciers will be completely gone by 2050. Even though it's ice melting into our oceans, ocean temperatures are still rising, and by 2060, Australia's Great Barrier Reef will be extinct.
Arctic sea ice is also shrinking. According to NASA studies, the extent of Arctic sea ice has declined about 10% in the last 30 years.
And what about livestock and animal agriculture?
Well, what about it? I mean,
we do it just research. A couple of the UN report says it's more livestock accounts for more than all transportation put together. A recent 2009 World Watch report, livestock causes 51% of all greenhouse gas emissions.
Yeah, well, it is a big issue, and we need to address that as well. But, you know, there's just so many different potential sources of methane and carbon emissions.
If the #1 leading cause is animal agriculture and meat consumption, then doesn't that need to be the #1 focus, if not the #2?
Well, that's your assessment. Our assessment is different.
Actually, some of the deniers agree that it's getting warmer. They just disagree that the cause is the way that we, as humans, live our lives. Which is understandable, I guess, because who wants to believe that their actions are hurting other people in the world and other generations as well?
Do you realize 75% of Americans consider themselves to be environmentalists? You don't think we couldn't solve this problem in a heartbeat? I'll tell you what, all we would need is for the environmentalists to live what they profess, and we'd be on a new course in the world. The fact of it is that we could feed every human being on the planet today an adequate diet if we did no more than take the feed that we are feeding to animals and actually turn it into food for humans.
You can produce, on average, 15 times more protein from plant-based sources than from meat on any given area of land.
To feed a person on an all-plant-based vegan diet for a year requires just 1/6 of an acre of land. To feed that same person on a vegetarian diet that includes eggs and dairy requires 3 times as much land. To feed an average U.S. citizen's high-consumption diet of meat, dairy, and eggs requires 18 times as much land. This is because you can produce 37,000 pounds of vegetables on 1.5 acres, but only 375 pounds of meat on that same plot of land. I also learned the comparison doesn't end with land use. A vegan diet produces half as much CO2 as an American omnivore, uses 1/11th the amount of fossil fuels, 1/13th the amount of water, and 1/18th of the amount of land. After adding this all up, I realized I had the choice every single day to save over 1,100 gallons of water, 45 pounds of grain, 30 square feet of forested land, the equivalent of 20 pounds of CO2, and one animal's life every single day.
You can't be an environmentalist and eat animal products, period. Kid yourself if you want. If you want to feed your addiction, so be it. But don't call yourself an environmentalist. Do what you can do as well as you can do it every day of your life, and you will end up dying one of the happiest individuals that ever died.
Selflessness is a nice way to be. It has all these benefits for yourself as well as the planet and other people.
I had to stop eating all animal products. I wanted to help the planet be sustainable, but I needed to sustain myself. I had doubts about being healthy and not eating meat, dairy, and eggs. All I knew was a standard American diet I grew up on.
I became vegan for, 32 years ago now, and I run several miles every day. I go biking 40, 50 miles through the countryside. I work long hours. I feel great. It's nice waking up in a light, trim body every day. And so many of my vegan friends and patients, are just, they're thriving since their transition to a vegan diet. So yes, and I've seen vegan moms go through healthy vegan pregnancies and deliver healthy vegan children and raise them into tall, full-size, intelligent vegan adults.
Our presence has graced the face of the earth for at least 3.5 million years.
Yet just 500 short years ago, we still thought it was flat. And just 100 short years ago, we still didn't think we could ever get off the ground and fly. Which begs the question, Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests, just what timeless truths are we still missing?
Life today is not about sustainability, it's about thrivability. She's given so much to us for so long, it was time to give back. This was about all life on Earth hanging in the balance of our actions. Now you either live for something or die for nothing. And I actually had no choice all along. I decided then to surrender not to fear from the secret, but rather to a cause towards truth. I couldn't be like these environmental organizations and sit silently while the planet was being eaten alive right in front of our eyes.
Our citizens keep marching. We cannot pretend we do not hear them. We have to answer the call.
This December, we have a huge
opportunity.
190 nations will gather to negotiate
a new binding deal to reduce rising temperatures.
This is a once-in-a-generation moment.
To put pressure on our leaders to agree to a deal.
Our global petition will tell leaders what we want.
We're asking for a commitment to cut emissions.
And a commitment to stop temperatures from rising.
Now is the time. Your signature can make a difference.
The more people that sign,
the more power we have.
We need to show that we are together.
We are together. We're together.
We are together.
For whatever you love.
For whatever you want to say.
Now is the time.
It's ours to lose.
It's ours to lose.
It's ours to lose. Join us. Sign the petition. We have so much to lose in climate change.
Because we help each other.
Because we reach out to each other.
Because music is so awesome.
Because our children are so beautiful.
Because of selflessness.
Because the human body is amazing.
Because my best friend is really, really funny.
Because of the sun on my skin.
Because of knowledge.
Because we create.
Because we know how to party.
Because of kindness.
because of beauty.
Because of love.
Because the human race.
Car la race humaine.
Porque la raza humana.
لأن الإنسان.
And everything we love is worth saving.
Alright guys, so in case you didn't get that, that's 1,100 gallons of water every day saved from going vegan.
Along with 45 pounds of grain, 30 square feet of forest, and if that wasn't enough, one animal's life every single day when you decide to live a plant-based lifestyle.
Scientists now believe that the greenhouse effect is being intensified by the extra greenhouse gases that humans have released.
I would really like the world leaders to consider that our diets are the problem to the greenhouse gases and the climate changes nowadays.
Absolutely, and what we want them to do is to address the main issue, because yes, there are many contributors to the global warming and the climate change happening around the world, but the one that has the most impact, the one that is destroying the most land,
destroying the environment, destroying our whole planet,
hurting the most people is the animal agriculture that is hurting this planet, and the fact is we cannot continue on the course that we are. This month, the world leaders are getting together on a major climate summit on global energy.
Hundreds of thousands of people will be taking to the streets for the global climate march taking place right before the summit.
Finally now, we can be a part of the solution and no longer part of the problem. So please, sign the petition today and be a part of the positive change.
Go down to the description below. It's right there. Click on it. It's going to take you right to the website where all you got to do is put in your information and to get your voice heard.
It is my brother and I's passion. We want this so bad. We want a better place for ourselves, a better place for everybody. And this is why we make YouTube videos, trying to get our content out there, trying to make a positive change.
If you enjoyed this video, please pop a like on it, share this video everywhere, just put it anywhere. We need to raise awareness on the climate change and things that are happening. My brother and I, we've been thriving on a vegan lifestyle for almost 3 years now. We're in the best shape we've ever been, best headspace I've ever been in. So if you want to hear tips and tricks on a vegan lifestyle, subscribe to our channel. We upload videos all the time talking about vegan information. Anything we find out, we're going to let you know.
Jay, I couldn't have said it any better, because all I know that it's fruits and vegetables for life.
It's fruits and vegetables. Get the truth out there for the win.